Hello, welcome to my house and welcome to my channel. This is the beginning of the second part. If you missed the first part, here in the description box below I will share the link so you can make this previous step. At the end we are going to cut this thread and hide it with embroidery needle on wither hook. If you want, you can make a third level here in the back following the same steps. In this video I will show you how we are going to make the leaves and the bottom that will go right here in the center. And for this bottom we are going to use a different color. I want to continue with shades of pink, so I will use this light pink. And let me take a thread. I will show you, just I'm having a little bit of trouble. So here I'm going to use this thread. Okay, I'm going to start with first taking the stitch, then 1 2 3. At the end we made 4 chains, right, counting the first chains. So we will close in circle, then we will go up with 5 chains, and then we are going to come back and we are going to follow the same steps. In each stitch we are going to insert the hook, yarn over, and leave the last loops in hold, right like we made the petals of the flower. So remember that this is the Tunisian stitch. So inside in the circle we are going to take 1, then we are going to come back taking 1 by 1 the stitches, and again taking the back part of the stitch we are going to repeat. So counting the first loop that we have, here we have 3 4 loops in hold right in the hook, and then inside the circle 5, and then 2 2 2 2 2, and the last 2 loops, and again. And with this row we will have 3 rows. Okay, so we are going to make this petal out of 3 rows. So at the end, once we have 1 loop in hold, well, we are going to come back and slip 1. Remember, we slip 1 like this. At the end we must always have 1 loop in the hook. So like this is how we are going to slip until the beginning. And this is the first petal. We are going to from here make 5 chains, and again we are going to repeat. We are going to keep the last loops in hold. Counting the first loop that we have, we must have 5. And here please be careful to see where the center is. Okay, so you can insert the hook right there, because it happened that sometimes I did this mistake. Okay, so then we are going to come back, and like this, remember that we are going to have 3 rows for the petal. So here we are making the third and last row for this petal. Then we are going to come back 2 2 2 2 and the last 2, and then we are going to come back and slip 1 in each stitch until we arrive to the center, and this is how we close the row. So right here in the center we are going to slip the last one, and here we have 2 petals. Then again 5 chains, and while following the same instructions I made the last petal. So we have here 3 petals. I'm going to cut a long thread. At the end here I will just slip 1 and pull the thread. I'm going to fix them. I'm going to close them a little bit, and we will place them right here in the center of the flower. Look how beautiful it looks. I love it. And we have to take this thread to go behind, and then later with an embroidery needle we are going to sew it right here in the back, also with the same embroidery needle, sorry, and hide all the threads that you may have. And this is the flower that we will have. Also, I suggest that here in the petals we sew it, so all of them can be placed where they should be, or if you know, if you don't want to, well, just you can leave them free like you want. Okay, it's up to you, and so far I'm loving the result. Well, this step is additional. I'm going to decorate my flower with some leaves. I will use these two colors because I can decide. But if you have material that you have left from previous videos, well, use it, okay? I didn't put in the material list, but well, this step is extra. So I will use this material to make the sleeves. I will show you how. So we are going to make 4 chains. We are going to come back and close in circle, slip in one, and then we will go up with 5 chains, and then we are going to come back following the same steps. Stitch by stitch, we are going to insert our hook and yarn over and leaving the last loops in hold. So we must have 6, okay? With the one in the center, we must have 6 loops in hold, and then 2 by 2 until the end. We are going to have this. Then we will make 1 chain because we are going to make a long leaf, and then we are going to take the thread off the front. You see, we are going to change here in this step, this instruction. Remember that we are making this in the leaf, and we are going to have 7 with the extra chains that we made. So we will have 7 loops in hold. So 2 by 2 we are going to take them. Again, we are going to make an extra chain, and again we are going to take the threads off the front, and right there take the loops. Counting the extra chains that we made in this row, we must have 8 loops in hold. So as you could see here, we are increasing 1 in each row to make the long and the shape of the leaf. And well, here at the end we will increase 1 chain. So now instead of having 8, we will have 9, okay? 6, 7, 8, and 9 in the center. So again, we will come back, we will follow the same instructions. We will take 2 by 2, and then again in the last row we will, at the end of the last row we'll increase 1 to have 10. And like this is how we are going to continue. And as you could see here, we are having and creating the shape of the leaf. And as I told you at the beginning, this is a different stitch from the ones that we made in the petal flow of the flower. Here we are taking the thread of the front, so it looks a bit different but also beautiful too. So we have 2 options to make the Tunisian stitch, by taking the back part of the chain of the stitch or taking the front like we are making here. Well, here as you could see, we increase 1 chain, and now in this row, instead of having 10, we will have 11 loops. Okay, so we will count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and the one that will go in the center, 11. So we are going to come back following the same instructions, and we are going to make 1 more, so we will have 12 in the next row, and then from there we are going to start reducing. So here as you could see, we already increased the next chain, so we will have 12. Loops here at the end, right in the center, and let me finish this row. Now I can show you how we are going to reduce. So now here in these rows we increased to make the sleeve long, and now we are going to come back and reduce. Well, in the Tunisian stitch, this is how we reduce. So we are going to insert the hook right in the second, so this is the first thread. In the second thread of the stitch we are going to slip 1, and this is how we are going to reduce. Then we are going to continue as we used to with the next stitches. Just here, let me take more yarn and then we are ready to continue. Okay, so if we had 12 in the last row, here in this row, as we reduce one, we must have 11. Okay, and like this is how we are going to continue with the coming rows. At the beginning is where we are going to reduce. Also, in the future, if you want to make something else with a Tunisian stitch, well, you already know how to reduce, right? And now here we are going to slip one in the second thread, and then we are going to continue. In the last one we have 11. Now here we will have 10. Okay, and like this is how we are going to continue until we have at the end 5 loops left. Okay, so this is how we are going to continue. Well, now you know what, I'm going to stop until we have 6. Okay, because I feel that it's already too much. So here we have in the last row 6 loops left, and so far I'm looking that it's too much. Look, if we compare with the petals, I think it's too much. So I will stop right there. With the other color, I try to make it a bit different, so you will decide which leaf is the best for you for the project. So here I'm going to slip one to close the leaf and to finish. So like this is how I'm going to slip one by one until I arrive to the center, and right here I'm going to cut the thread. I'm going to cut a long thread so later I can use this thread to sew it. So we are going to pleat and make these pleats a little bit to fold it, and we will place it right here in the back. So now here with a different color we are going to try a new and different style. Okay, so now I'm going to use this dark green. So we are going to make first 4 chains to start, and then we will close in circle. I'm going to slip one, and we will start making first 4 chains, and like this is how we are going to start making these 4 stitches, and then we are going to continue increasing one by one. And this is a different technique for the one that we have been followed, right? So the stitch will be the same. We will follow the Tunisian technique. Here in this sleeve at the end of the row we are going to make 2 chains more to increase, and then when we come back we are going to crochet this. I mean, not crochet, but you know, make the Tunisian stitch in these 2 extra chains that we made, and then we are going to continue with the rest of the stitches. Again, at the end of the row we are going to increase 2 chains more, and this is the technique that we are going to follow. If I like more this sleeve, I will repeat the first sleeve so I can have both sleeves the same. Okay, so again I'm going to increase 2 chains. I'm going to count, and also by taking the thread of the front we are going to take the stitches and make the Tunisian stitch. So I think I'm going to make like this one 2 rows more by increasing 2 chains at the end of each row, and let's see the result. Okay, so see you at the end of the next 2 rows following this technique. Okay, let's first count how many stitches do we have at the end. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 13. Okay, we finished with 13 stitches. So now like we increase 2, we are going to reduce 2 by 2. So here we are going to slip first the first 2, and then we are going to continue with the rest following the same technique of the Tunisian stitch. Well, unlike this, the same way I reduce in this row, I'm going to reduce in 2 rows more, 2, okay, 2 by 2. So at the end Here we reduce 2, then in the next row 2, and then in the last row 2. So we will reduce 2 for 6 stitches, okay? So I want to show you how it will look. I want to make these steps with you so you can see how it is. Remember that to reduce we are just simply slip one, and then we will continue with the rest stitches, making the Tunisian stitch, and always insert the hook right in the center. Please be careful where you insert the hook, always in the center. So here I already reduced in the next 2 rows, so here I will just finish. I have these few stitches left and slip one at the end, so I'm going to cut a long thread because later I will use this thread to sew. So I'm going to pull this thread like this, making a knot, and this is the leaf. I like it more. What do you think? But well, let's look how they both look together. Probably we are going to place them like this. I think I'm going to leave the leaf like that to have 2 leaves different. So I will just sew. I will place the petals how I want it to be. I will use the threads that I leave. Using the embroidery needle, I'm going to sew and fix it. At the end, if you want here in the center, you can put a bottom, a small pair, like you want. And now I'm going to show you how it looks in the cardigan that we made the last week. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed making this flower with me. I love that you learned the Tunisian stitch. Remember that this is the second part. If you missed the first part, here in the description box below I will share the link. And also if you want to make this cardigan and use this flower to decorate it, also here in the description box below I will share the steps to make the cardigan. You won't believe how easy it is. I hope that you use this flower to decorate your coming projects. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. Remember that it's completely free. Don't forget to leave me a comment and also follow me in all my social media. Remember, I'm new in TikTok, so see you there too. Thank you so much and stay tuned. Bye.